Hello. This is really bad lighting. Sorry about that. Heaven is just off screen. You can't see it, but I am ascending immediately after recording this, so yeah. Big stuff on the way. Anyway, sorry, I know I haven't been here in like a long time, and the first time I'm coming back it's to bitch and moan about something, but it's to bitch and moan because a lot of you people are unempathetic, uncaring individuals who are stupid as well and wrong. So recently, as I understand it, there was a certain individual who's got Tourette's, who was at a certain function with a lot of people watching, and he had a tick and said the N-word. Sucks, right? What sucks more than that is how many people now are just going off about how if you have Tourette's, you shouldn't be doing things like this. Like, you shouldn't be out in public or in public speaking positions or anything like that. You are disgusting. I don't care what your race is. You are fucking gross. Because, yeah, I understand, like, I had to unfollow a content creator for saying that because I honestly was like, wow, I don't think you realize what you're saying, but what you're saying is super, super fucked up. So, what's worse? Somebody who cannot not do this, saying the N-word in public one time, or somebody holding the belief that disabled people shouldn't fucking go outside? I don't know. Y'all want the ugly laws so fucking bad. Another thing I've been seeing people say is, oh, he's faking, that's just a fucking lie, that's not a thing. People thinking that if you tick something, it must be in your vocabulary. That's not how Tourette's works. Coprolalia specifically is almost like intrusive thoughts, which, I mean, far beyond me to expect you guys to fucking understand intrusive thoughts either, because people just think they're like, oh, it's just a weird thought I have. No, it's something super fucked up that's in your head that you have to sit there and distinguish from your actual thoughts for a minute because it's that fucking upsetting. Anyway, it's kind of like intrusive thoughts in the sense that the more you worry about it, the more likely it is to be present. So, like, the thoughts, intrusive thoughts, are like, oh, if I keep ruminating on it, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse in my head. Coprolalia is kind of like that in the sense of the more worried you are about saying a thing, and the more you're like, don't say this thing, the more likely it is that you're going to involuntarily say that word. It doesn't mean you use that word. It doesn't mean that's in your vocabulary. That's not how it works. And also, you can kind of tell a little bit. Actually, no. Backtrack, you can't. None of you motherfuckers can tell what a goddamn tick looks like because you're dumb as shit. So, yeah. Anyway, hi, hello, person with Tourette's. I've been diagnosed since I was like, what, fucking 13? It has been a problem for me my whole life. I am lucky in the sense that I've not always been ostracized because of my Tourette's. Most of the people in the area where I live are very understanding of that kind of thing, so I don't run into that a lot. I have experienced medical discrimination. I had a really traumatizing incident where a bunch of adult staff at a school forced me, they kicked open the bathroom door of the stall I was in having an episode. If you have Tourette's, or you are friends with someone with Tourette's, you know that if someone's having like an episode or like a bunch of tics at once, you are supposed to leave them alone or you make it worse. I kept telling these people, hey, don't do that. Please leave me alone. You're making this worse. I'm fine. I'm not going to hurt somebody or myself. I just have Tourette's. I need you to leave me alone. I was repeatedly ignored, and they forced me into a wheelchair and then wheeled me through the entire school as I'm sitting there sobbing. And when they kicked down the door, they were like, oh, you have nothing. Oh, don't cry. You have nothing to be ashamed of. I was crying because I was physically exhausted, not because I think I should feel shame for being disabled, Rebecca. Anyway, all that to say, yeah, I'm aware. I'm intimately familiar with Tourette's. And hi, hello, I have coprolalia. I say horrible shit often that I do not mean. Most of which is not in my vocabulary. And anything that is in my vocabulary is, hey, guess what? Gay slurs. Hi, hello, I'm a gay person. Nice to meet you. Am I going to stop doing that bit? Probably not. You people have no fucking empathy. Like, again, I'm gonna say, I understand being uncomfortable initially when somebody, especially if you're like a black person and someone, they say the N-word, right? I'm not saying you have to hang around with that person or be cool with that person, whatever. You don't have to be their friend. What you don't get to do is then turn around and be an awful person to that person in return, knowing what that person's deal is, and imply that they shouldn't go out in fucking public. That is disgusting. You are an awful person. And this happens all the time in leftist spaces, but ableism gets like really fucking swept under the rug. Even in people, and I'm not saying, oh, racism is taken so seriously in leftist spaces. It's not. But in people who would take racism seriously, we still see a lot of those people who would take racism. This is me like taking racism. I'm plucking it out of the air, I guess. Take racism seriously. This is racism. Ableism just swims on by those same people. And I'm like, cool. That's nice. Like, I have had people tell me, and granted, this is mostly in an online space, which I know, and the online world isn't not the real world, but also isn't the real world. It's a caricature of the real world. I have straight up had people, like, I've seen situations, not about me specifically, but where people make up scenarios in which a person with Tourette's calls them a name so that they can then beat the shit out of a disabled person, which is like, there's something fucking wrong with you. There is something wrong with you. You should be shot. Not shot, but, you know, educated. But, I mean, if I'm coming from an emotional reaction, then yeah, fuck you. You want to dream about beating the fuck out of me because of something I can't help and something that literally doesn't actually fucking hurt anyone? Yeah, maybe you should eat lead. But, yeah. I have had people tell me that I should be institutionalized, and it's like, for having Tourette's, I should be institutionalized because sometimes I yell out loud. Or I go like, I should be institutionalized for that? I don't think you know what institutionalization is, so again, you're dumb as fuck. And I don't know. I guess just, I feel really bad. Obviously, I feel bad for everybody involved. But, like, I just am like, God. Because you know, in that moment, he must have been, like, trying really fucking hard not to say that. And the trying too hard is why it was said. I'm going to tell you right now. Are you wondering, have you said this during because you have coprolalia? Have you said that? Yeah, I have. If you're thinking of it, I've probably said it. And it really fucking destroys me each time. It's not fun. It's not like, oh, it's just an excuse to say those things. I actually will physically harm myself in order to stop myself from saying those things. Like, actually, I will physically harm myself. I will, like, punch myself in the stomach. I will pull on my fingers, like, really, really hard. Pull out my hair. Slap my face. Like, I will try and channel it as much as I can into a physical, violent response towards myself instead of this horrible thing I'm about to say because of how much I morally disagree with the horrible thing I'm about to say. And also, another note for my little fucking experts, knowing something bad's about to happen or feeling that a tick is about to happen doesn't actually mean you can stop the tick. With a lot of CBT, it means you might be able to, or you might be able to change it. Maybe. Get fucked. Not everyone's built different. Sorry, guys. Sorry to people with Tourette's. Fuck you. there might just not be any hope for you. So like, I do know sometimes I can kind of change it, but ultimately there's really not a lot I can do. And it's not like an at-will thing, because it's, hey, not a choice. It's like a shart. It's like a big thing of diarrhea. I can know it's coming. It doesn't mean that I can stop it. Even if I can feel it and I know just what it is, it doesn't mean I can stop it. But yeah, and like, I know I'm probably gonna get dogged on. People are gonna be like, oh, it's not that deep. And I'm like, it's not that deep. When people are actually going around spewing actual, like, dangerous vitriolic opinions about a certain class or group of people because of things, or when there are lists of groups of people being made, or like any type of, it is that deep. Your brain is just shallow. It is that deep. You're just not capable of depth. So, anyway, I know this is not like my usual funny video. I know the lighting is bad. I know I look a mess. I know, yada, yada, yada. Girl fail, where have you been, girl fail? I'm busy. But I do miss you. I am coming back. I have something big I'm working on. I'm really probably not going to do a whole lot of rambles in the coming future. This wasn't really a ramble. This was more of like I need to set you motherfuckers straight because you're being terrible, terrible people. And like, some of you are even trying to like disguise it as like, oh, I'm so woke that I fucking hate disabled people. And I'm like, your love of black people does not override your hate for the disabled. And again, I must clarify, if you are a black person and you see somebody taking the N-word and it makes you uncomfortable, that's fine. That's okay. Like, you are allowed to feel discomfort. I completely understand that. What you are not allowed to do, upon learning what just actually happened, is then say that that person should not be out in public because of a disability that they have, or like fantasize about beating the shit out of them because of a disability that they have, or say like I don't know how to get this through everybody's heads, but it's actually not cool to say that the disabled should not be seen or to fantasize about hurting them. I feel like I should put on my hat of obviousness to complete this outfit of tomfoolery. Because I genuinely, anyway. So yeah. Peace out. I'll be back with big, good content. Rambles aren't going away. I'm just not focusing on them. Thanks to anyone who's watched this. Yeah, bye.